What's up, all you fishing freaks out there? Time to go fishing again. I know, you know, my channel here on Another Line, we like to go fishing. We like to go fishing a lot. And seeing as how tomorrow is supposed to be a beautiful day, and I don't know, I have nothing to do. Guess what? I'm going fishing. Yep, you guessed it, we're going fishing. I'm gonna go to Rocky Fork Lake in Hillsboro, Ohio. I'm gonna meet up with Kyle. He's gonna pack his boat down. So I'm gonna show you guys my technique of how I break down what I think I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna show you guys how I fill my Cal Coast rod mule, and I'm gonna show you guys the baits that I'm gonna choose to take tomorrow. This is basically a video for any co-angler out there that's wondering what I do to get ready for a tournament or a, you know, going fishing that I'm not going to be using my boat. And it's, you know, it's very tough for me to want to grab all my stuff out of my boat and go fishing with someone else. The only two times I do that is, one, when my buddies call me up and they want to go fishing, and if I'm fishing as a co-angler for a tournament. And that is, it was a lot up until this point. I vowed to take a year off basically and focus on my YouTube channel, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna get this stuff off my boat. I gotta uncover my boat. I'm gonna get all my stuff out, put it in my rod mule, grab my Shimano Black Moon backpack, talk about the techniques that I think is gonna work tomorrow, and show you how I get ready to either fish out of another person's boat or fish as a co-angler for a tournament. So after this short intro, we're gonna get after it. Thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it more than you know.
Gotta get your arms way up in a cast and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-Loom is right. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it a whirl. Hello, welcome to my world.
It's a little chilly out here this evening in Ohio, so I have the old beanie on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys my routine of how I get ready as a co-angler or if I'm fishing out of somebody else's boat. First and foremost, you have to understand that there's only so much you can carry. Could I pack every rod I have in this and put it in my buddy Kyle's boat? Sure. Am I going to want to? Probably not. It's springtime here in Ohio. There's going to be some things that we're going to have to take into consideration, and that is going to be the amount of rods that I want to pack. I'm driving 2 hours. I want to take just enough. I don't want to leave any rods home that I think I'm going to need, but I also don't want to pack along a bunch of stuff to make sure that I'm not packing too much and not you know, overloading myself to get there. Number one thing that I always pack as a co-angler is baits and rods that I feel like are going to be good for the techniques that I think are going to be good in that lake. If I've never been to a lake before, that makes it really tough. This time, I've been to this lake 100 times or more. Kyle and I have caught them there. Some of the best baits this time of year for this lake we're going to, Rocky Fork, in my opinion, is a shaky head and a jerk bait. Rattle trap is really good, and a Texas rig of some sort. So those 4 rods are definitely coming with me. So let me grab these rods out. Again, as I get them out here, I'll show them to you as we get them. Number one, this is a my rattle trap rod. It's actually a 906C CBR IMX that is paired up with a Corrado K. I've got some moisture issues in my boat right now. I think it's because I washed my boat and wasn't careful about getting the water in my carpet, but it's definitely an issue. It is my rods are just coated with water when I pull them out of there, which is not good. They're going to need to be clean. Rod number one going to be my rattle trap rod again, which is what I'm throwing right now. Those on is a 906C CBR IMX Pro with a Corrado K 6-gear ratio. The next rod that I'm going to be packing is my jerkbait rod, and that is Shimano X Pride. This is a 7.2 medium heavy Shimano X Pride. Right now I have it. I have a Jackal Re-Range 110 tied on there. One of my favorite jerk baits right now. Crown Arc E Series. This is a 6:5 to 1 gear ratio. Should potentially probably want a 7 or 8 there to pull up that slack. It is what it is at this point. So the next rod is going to be my square bill rod or small crankbait rod, and this is going to be a G-Loomis E6X 850 or 845C CBR. Springtime for me always means a chatterbait. This is my Poison Adrena. This is the medium plus, 610 medium plus. I have this tied on, or I'm sorry, the 611 medium plus. That's my chatterbait rod. That's definitely going with me. Texas rig rod. This is a 7.3 medium heavy Poison Adrena. This is definitely going with it. So right now I'm up to 5 rods. I'm going to obviously bring my jig rod. Can't beat that combination. Again, black blue jig from the tackle box tied on here, still from the last adventure. This is a 894 NRX C, 894C. The last casting rod I believe I'm going to bring. Oh man, this is where it gets tough. Do I want to throw spinnerbait, swim jig? Is there other rods here that I could throw that stuff on? Sure. The medium plus probably could be a spinnerbait rod. So we will go with swim bait rod, small swim bait. This is an underspin. This is an 853C NRX. It's paired up with a this is the Shimano Corrado DC. So that's going to be the end of that. I want to throw in a topwater, but I'm not going to. So that's going to round out that side. I have all my casting rods in there, spinning rods on this side. First spinning rod's going with me. This is going to be a 273 7'3" medium heavy Zodius paired up with a Stratic CI4 Plus 30-pound super slick V2 Onyx braid to a 10-pound Sunline leader. And one more. Again, this is where I'm thinking about the types of fishing that I'm going to be doing. If it's the first time you've ever been to a lake, you're going to have to break it down as far as what season it is, your other amount of knowledge that you have from lakes that are similar to it, and just use your gut, guys. If you guys are fishing out there and you've been fishing a lot, you know what works a lot of times. So right now what I'm trying to think about is, do I want to throw a Ned rig or do I want to throw a wacky rig? Well, to be honest with you, I think that both of them will work. But seeing as how I have the shaky head here, that's similar to the Ned rig. So I'm going to choose to take the wacky rig. Wacky rig rod here. Looks like I have it stuck, which is not good. So this is one of my oldest Zodius that I own. This is a 270, so 7-foot medium light with the Jackal wacky rig head on there. So that's going to do it for the amount of rods that I'm going to take. So that gives me 3, 6, 9 rods, which is a ton. You're probably not going to want to pack that many if you're going on a bass fishing excursion, as far as like for a BFL or fishing as a co-angler out of the back of somebody's boat that you don't know. So I would probably look at that as rods that I could throw different things on. For example, like the IMX Pro that I'm throwing the rattle trap on, the 906C. I could throw square bills on that. It's a huge rod, it's really long. But I could throw a square bill on there. I could throw a deep diving crankbait. I could throw a lot of rods on there. So if I was going to take one rod for a crankbait, it would be that one, and I would leave my E6X at home. The spinnerbait rod, again, I've already said that. My spinnerbait rod could be the thing that I have the chatterbait tied on right now. So that gives me 2 rods, or one rod with 2 different applications there. I can also throw a spinnerbait on the NRX with the Corrado DC, and I could also throw smaller crankbaits and stuff on my spinning rods, and that's, you know, good enough for me. So that is basically how I'm going to break down my rods as far as what I need. Well, so now what? Well, first off, I'm going to load those into my rod mule really quickly. Best way I've found to do that, guys, is to lay my rod mule on the deck of my boat with the large portion of the rod tube or the rod sock towards the front of the boat, and then lay this as flat as I can back through here. Make sure all the webbing and stuff is as straightened out as it should be, or could be, I guess. And then I'm going to start loading my rods one at a time. So I have everything good. Doesn't matter how you start loading these in. I'm going to take this rod, I'm going to push this thing as far as I can towards the front of my boat and let it rest here. And then I'm just going to continue working my way through, again putting these things up in there, and I'm going to try to get them to be as neatly packed in there as possible, and you'll see why in just a second. So now that I have my rod mule packed up, what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the 2 elastic straps around your rods, work your way back to the back, and then wrap all the butts of your rods together with the elastic strap, or the Velcro strap. Wrap them all the way around. You can see that I have this thing, it's too loose, so I need to make sure that it's wrapped together like that. So then you take the end of your rod mule, wrap it around your butts of your rods, and then tighten it up. You don't want to actually probably tighten it up before you put it on there. Don't tighten it so much, guys, that you're going to break your rod tips. You just want it snug. You want a snug fit there. You don't want them rattling around. And then you can grab that thing and throw it in the back of your truck, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stand this thing up, work my way down. Sorry if you can't see this. There I have all of my rods, all 9 of them, all nice and secure in the Calcoast rod mule. That's step number 1. Grab the rods that you think you're going to use, take them with you. Next thing is going to be tackle. So let's see how I tackle that. And no pun intended. Before we get into the tackle, guys, I apologize, it's getting kind of dark here, so I'm going to speed it up a little faster. One of the things that I always pack with me if I'm going in somebody else's boat is going to be a quality pair of sunglasses. These are Solar Bat FL1s, the floating solar bats. They are moss green, the moss back. Look for a video coming out comparing those, but definitely a good pair of sunglasses. Next thing we're going to look at is tackle, and my go-to thing is the Shimano tackle system. This is basically a binder where I have all of my soft baits that I'll be taking with me, all my Zoom speed crawls, all my rodents, some of my Jackal flick shakes, a few other things that are in here. Gives me one little handle here. I can grab that and take it. I can also change what I need in here as we go. But the biggest thing for me, tackle storage or tackle management when I'm going on somebody else's boat. So I'm gonna grab my Black Moon backpack out of here, show you it, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna go fishing tomorrow, so look for a video coming very soon from Rocky Fork. Let me grab the Black Moon here and I'll show you. Tackle management for me when I'm fishing out of somebody else's boat or fishing as a co-angler, this right here is hands down the best investment that you can make if you're fishing farm ponds, if you're packing gear anywhere. The Shimano Black Moon backpack is the real deal. This thing is amazing. Has a lot of storage up here in the top, has a zipper compartment up here. You can see I got some swim baits, I got some more rattle traps there in that box. 2 smaller boxes there, actually 3 smaller boxes, some crankbaits and stuff in there. Zip that back up. Got a ton of storage here on the other side. See a lot of stuff here. Got some swim baits in there. Got some underspins, which is going to be good up there, I think. Same thing on this other side. But right here on the front, if you take these down, there's 2 zippers here. If you take these zippers down, there are 4 Shimano branded Plano boxes in here. See, I got a lot of my crankbaits in there. Again, keep in mind, this is stuff that I'm packing with me to other people's boats when I'm fishing either tournaments or I'm fishing with my buddies. So I keep a plethora of things in here, but I also swap things out if I'm going fishing. Like for example, there's a lot of stuff in here for largemouth right now. There's no smallmouth that I know of in Rocky Fork where we're going, so I'm going to keep all my largemouth stuff in there. If I were going north to like St. Clair, where I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of smallmouth fishing, I'm going to change it out. Shimano Black Moon backpack for the win. Definitely how I pack my tackle. The last thing that I'm going to pack, and I recommend everybody packing, is a quality rain suit. This is a Bass Pro 100 mile per hour suit. I've had this thing about 5 or 6 years. It's never let me down. It is phenomenal. My idea of this is it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It doesn't take up a lot of room in my truck, so I'm definitely going to pack it. If it's not raining at all, the bibs keep you very, very warm in the springtime and late fall or early mornings in the summer when it's super, super cold. So, again, Cal Coast Rod Mule, full of the rods that I think I'm going to be using for that tournament. Pack them all nice and neat. Next is going to be a quality set of eyewear. Again, I wear Solar Bats. They're, you know, they're phenomenal. I love them. Again, the PF ones, the FL ones are floating. These things float. Moss back lens is really good for enhancing greens. Shimano Black Moon backpack is going to be with me 100% of the time if I'm not fishing in my boat. And a quality rain suit. That could be a Stormer. Stormer makes awesome rain gear. I have one of those as well. I'm going to pack my 100 mile per hour suit tomorrow because my Stormer stuff is clean and this stuff is fairly dirty, so I need to get one more use out of it before I wash them. I forgot one of the most important things to take with you as a co-angler. Always pack your own life jacket. Most of your people will have things like that for you. Buy yourself one that you are comfortable with. I use a Mustang inflatable. I know a lot of people have their preferences as far as non-inflatable or inflatable, but for the lack of me hoping I don't fall in the water, I have enough confidence in this Mustang. Make sure you check the capsule in there. Make sure they are good year to year. This thing is good till 2022. And then I'm going to replace it just to make sure that I'm safe on the water. So last but not least, pack your own life jacket. It will save you in the long run because you're going to wear something that's comfortable to you, something that you are trusting and you have a good amount of confidence in. Last thing, as a co-angler, pack your own life jacket. That's how I tackle getting ready for a tournament as a co-angler or fishing out of somebody else's boat. Can you take it all? No. Do I want to? Sure. You have to understand, you have to learn how to make compromises and hope it doesn't bite you in the long run. It's a game of chance here, guys. Grab what you think you need. If you have the opportunity, grab a little more. Thanks for sticking around this episode of On the Line. Guys, I appreciate it. My subscriber count is going up. I appreciate it. Share my content if you don't care. I would appreciate it. Till next time, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.